Wow, people love me.
Remember when Snow White was just about a girl vibing with animals and getting kissed in a coma? Yeah, not anymore. Now it's about political beef, viral flops, co-star drama, and somehow Donald Trump. This reboot got more plot twist than an episode of Love Island. Today we're talking about how Rachel Zegler fumbled Disney's bag so hard it bounced into another tax bracket, and how her co-star Andrew Burnap is low-key throwing shades from the sideline. She was cast to revive Disney magic and instead turned the kingdom into a PR dumpster fire. Let's dive in. Now, when Disney cast Rachel Zegler as Snow White, they thought they were cooking, like full-on Ratatouille mode. She had just popped off in West Side Story, had the Disney princess look, and was ready to give Gen Z its own fairy tale icon. But instead of a modern princess, we got the main character from a Twitter thread titled "How to Ruin a Studio in 10 Interviews or Less." And let me tell you, she didn't just fumble the bag. She set it on fire, threw it into a swamp, and did a TikTok dance on top of the ashes. Let's rewind. The original Snow White dropped in 1937. Classic, timeless, the OG princess. And sure, the prince was a little stalkery. He pulled up singing in the woods like a Disney Drake. But Rachel didn't just call it dated. She straight up roasted the prince, calling him a guy who literally stalks her.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
And then hit us with, all of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows, it's Hollywood, baby.
It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's one of those things.
So true,
it's
yeah.
an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible.
Excuse me? Imagine being Andrew Burnap. Man's been grinding in theatre for years, lands a role in Snow White, thinks it's his big break, and his co-star goes on a press tour, dragging your character like he's a Tinder date that ghosted her. And the worst part, she didn't just roast the prince. She basically said the whole love story was irrelevant. Meanwhile, Andrew's at home like, am I a joke to you? Now, Andrew Burnap isn't just some random actor. This dude's legit. Came up doing Shakespeare, and when he got cast, he was in tears. Real ones, he said, I sounded the ground outside when I got the call. I thought my life was gonna change. And it did, just not in the way he was hoping. Because by the time the movie dropped, Andrew had been Thanos snapped out of the promo cycle. No red carpet duo shots, no cute behind the scenes stories, no nothing. Rachel basically acted like he was an NPC in her Disney origin story. Some insiders even claimed she wanted his scenes shortened because they didn't serve her narrative. Ma'am, this is Snow White, not the Rachel Zegler show, relax. But the drama didn't stop with Andrew, oh no, because next up in the firing line, Gal Gadot, aka Wonder Woman, aka the evil queen in this cursed reboot. Now here's where things go from oops to girl, what are you doing? Rachel, in the middle of promoting a $270 million Disney movie, decided to post a political statement on X supporting Palestine. Cool, free speech and all, but the problem? Gal Gadot is Israeli. She served in the Israeli army, so now you've got two lead actresses on opposite sides of an international conflict during the press tour of a kids movie. What could go wrong? Well, apparently everything. Gal started getting death threats, Disney had to bring in extra security, executives are calling Rachel non-stop like she missed a group project deadline, producer Mark Platt reportedly flew to New York just to talk to her face to face, like when your mom tells you we need to talk but you know it's because you posted something dumb on IG. Now add in Rachel's Trump rant and you've basically completed a PR disaster speedrun. She posted, "May Trump supporters, Trump voters, and Trump himself never know peace," and then continues to go off calling them a deep, deep sickness.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see. Dumb things I've said, I don't absolve myself from that. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm 21, please forgive me. Like, the stupid I've said and done is stupid. But it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that Loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
And I'm over here like, you know who buys Disney tickets? Parents. You know who some of them voted for? Yeah. Now half of the country's boycotting Snow White before it even hits theatres. Like, I'm not even here to discuss politics, but it's just like, it's a kids movie. Why are you bringing in politics to a Disney Snow White film? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So by the time Snow White dropped, it was already cursed. Theatres were empty, like Rachel filmed herself going to see her own movie and no one else was there. It was giving sad birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. And that clip, it went viral, but not in a good way. Everyone clowned her like she's watching herself bomb in 4K.
Wow, people love me.
Like, imagine showing up to your own movie premiere and the only thing more vacant than the seats is the chemistry with your co-stars. Now back to Andrew Burnap for a second. After the flop, he dipped. No press, no appearances. Some fans say he's been low-key trying to scrub the movie from his resume. Can you blame him? He signed up for a fairy tale and got cast in a Greek tragedy. Sources say Andrew even started leaking behind the scenes tea. Like, Rachel allegedly tried to control how the scenes were shot, made edits, wanted a character to be a dominant figure with no prince, no rescue, no romance, just Snow White serving CEO energy while the dwarf filed taxes in the background. And get this, there's a moment in the movie where Andrew's character says Jonathan Princess by accident, like a little emasculation comedy moment, but people start calling it a Hollywood humiliation ritual. Listen, I don't know if that's true, but it definitely feels like Andrew's role went from romantic lead to walking punchline. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's Hollywood rep is in the ICU. Studios are reportedly hesitant to cast her now because she's seen as a liability. Not even controversial, just exhausting. Imagine being the reason Disney shelves future remakes. Tangled was allegedly cancelled after this, like Rapunzel got clipped because Snow White couldn't stop tweeting, and if you thought Rachel and Gal patched things up after the press tour, nope. At the LA premiere, they literally avoided each other like exes at a high school reunion. Gal promoted the movie at Disneyland solo, Rachel promoted it, also solo, like two people attending the same wedding but refusing to be in the group photo. In her farewell post, Rachel shouted at everyone except Gal Gadot. You know it's bad when you thank the grip guy but forget your co-star. Gal later said there was a lack of understanding behind the scenes, which is Hollywood speak for I'm never working with her again.
Gal delivered the following: the most important thing when you are working on a film is teamwork, and when you have characters like the Evil Queen and Snow White, you expect teamwork to play a role in the creative process when you are trying to put something special together. We didn't really have teamwork, and there were many setbacks that we had to deal with during this entire process, and I just found that to be very exhausting.
So what did we learn here? Disney tried to cook with this remake and it ended with the fire alarm going off. Rachel Zegler, once positioned as the future of Disney, might have just burned every bridge on the way out. Andrew Burnap lost his breakout role, Gal Gadot left with extra trauma, and the audience, yeah, we just wanted some singing animals and a happy ending. Instead, we got TikTok cringe, political chaos, and a prince cut from his own movie. And in the end, it of course didn't work out for Rachel. The movie bombed, the theatres were empty, the audience wasn't buying what Disney was selling, and now they're pretending the whole thing never happened. Snow White is quietly being pulled from theatres, yanked off shelves, and scrubbed from Disney's marketing like a failed group project. No final push, no farewell tour, just radio silence. And it doesn't stop there. Entire countries like Lebanon have banned the film altogether. Not postponed, not censored, banned. No screenings, no distribution, no streaming. Disney didn't just flop in America, it got rejected on an international scale. This wasn't just a PR nightmare, it was a full-scale meltdown. Rachel went from being Disney's next golden girl to the face of one of their biggest modern failures. And now, the movie is getting buried. Her name's getting left out of future casting talks, and the rest of Hollywood is watching closely, taking notes on what not to do. So yeah, fairytale, not even close. This was a cautionary tale, and Disney just learned the hard way that no amount of CGI, press tours or rebrand can save a story that nobody wanted in the first place. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Rachel Zegler's career over, or can she still save it? Like, subscribe, comment, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.